shortly after my father passed, this woman who she calls herself the Eagle Woman. She calls herself the Eagle Woman, and
But she's
Native American, and she was friends with Karen, your mother. And for whatever reason, I thought about her in the morning, and I texted her, which I never was in contact with her, hardly. She was really intrigued with Abigail at the time. And she said, oh, I dreamt of you last night. I think that maybe we should get together for coffee, or I would love to do a session on you, because I never really look for that kind of thing. And it's like, well, yeah. I said, okay, sure, I'm open. And anyway, long story short, it was pretty amazing, because when I walked in, we had just come back from Mexico City for a wedding. It's a year ago, actually. And my stomach was a mess. And I don't know, I don't know what happened. But anyway, I lay down, and she puts her hands over your body to where she feels that it needs energy. And she puts her hands over my stomach. She's not even touching my stomach, just over my stomach. And she feels what I feel in her body. And she's like, oh my God, your stomach. And that, I'm telling you, when I got up from that table an hour later, I had no symptoms at all, like at all. I thought I'd feel a little bit better. But anyway, besides that, she went into this whole thing with my father. It was such a powerful story, because whenever I think about my father now, I think about him at his prime. That's just the image I have in my mind. And it's not even something I'm purposely doing. It's just...
It's funny as you mentioned that. It's funny, I was just thinking, as you mentioned, I think about my mom and my dad, who both are not physically in this world, is that right after they passed, I had a lot of memories of the times that they were ill. Now, like you said, every time I think of them, my mind doesn't even go there. It's very interesting.
Right, which is where I'm leading to. It's funny, it's all connected. So I remember him around age 35, 40. And I remember I was about 3 years old, and he would carry me, and I just felt so small and safe in his arms. Anyway, she said, and she starts to describe, and I didn't tell her any of this. She describes what I'm seeing, the suit he's wearing, what he looks like, how he's walking, like the vision that I have for him. And then she said, who in your family would eat popsicles all the time? I'm tasting cherry popsicles. And I lived on those every summer. Like I would have like 2-3 popsicles a day, and she could taste it. Right. And I was like, oh, that's me. And she's like, oh, he has a message for you. And she knew that my fear, I still had some fear attached to how he left the world and how sick he was in the last 8 years and the cognitive decline. And she said, he wants you to know that he's okay. He's not sick right now. Like she could see his soul. And that when he comes back, because I knew he was going to come right back. He would go first in line to come back. He loved life, and he didn't feel that he had finished what he wanted to at all. So when he comes back, he's not going to bring the illness with him. And she said, and this is but it resonated with me. She said that sometimes people come back with the illness, and they choose to do that because they know that's going to help them correct what they need to correct. So, for me, that was really rang true and really powerful.